Buster Keaton. The name alone conjures images of a stoic figure, a man with a pork pie hat pulled low over his brow, navigating a world of hilarious chaos with unwavering deadpan. His expression, or rather the lack of it, became his signature, earning him the nickname the Great Stoneface. He was a master of physical comedy, a cinematic innovator, and a true giant of the silent film era. His ability to perform complex stunts with such precision and apparent ease set him apart from his contemporaries. His films continue to delight and amaze audiences nearly a century after they were made. The timeless quality of his humor and the sheer inventiveness of his gags ensure that his work remains relevant and entertaining. Born in 1895 into a family of vaudeville performers, Keaton was practically raised on stage. His parents, Joe and Myra Keaton, were well-known vaudeville performers, and young Buster joined their act when he was just a toddler. He learned the art of comedy from the ground up, enduring bumps, bruises, and pratfalls from a very young age. This rigorous training in vaudeville gave him a deep understanding of timing, physicality, and the mechanics of humor. This early experience would shape his unique comedic sensibility and his fearless approach to stunt work. Keaton's stunts were not just about physical prowess, they were carefully choreographed pieces of visual storytelling. Keaton's trademark was his stoicism. His ability to maintain a completely impassive face, no matter what chaos was unfolding around him, became his hallmark. No matter how dire the situation, no matter how outrageous the gag, his face remained an impassive mask. This stoic demeanor contrasted sharply with the absurdity of the situations he found himself in, amplifying the comedic effect. This Great Stoneface, as it came to be known, only heightened the hilarity of his performances. Audiences couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all, while Keaton remained the calm eye of the storm. The audience laughed at the absurdity of it all, while Keaton remained the calm eye of the storm. His ability to stay composed in the face of chaos made his performances all the more memorable. But Keaton was more than just a funny face. He was a visionary filmmaker who pushed the boundaries of what was possible in cinema. He was a gifted filmmaker with a keen eye for visual storytelling. His films were meticulously crafted, with each shot carefully planned and executed to maximize the comedic impact. His films were meticulously crafted, filled with ingenious stunts, breathtaking chase sequences, and innovative special effects. Keaton's attention to detail and his willingness to take risks resulted in some of the most iconic scenes in film history. He was a true auteur, writing, directing, and starring in his own films, maintaining complete creative control over his work. This level of involvement allowed him to create a cohesive vision that was uniquely his own. Today, Keaton's films are still celebrated and studied by filmmakers and fans alike. His influence can be seen in the work of countless comedians and directors who have followed in his footsteps. Buster Keaton's legacy is one of innovation, resilience, and timeless humor. His contributions to the art of filmmaking and comedy continue to inspire and entertain, ensuring that the Great Stoneface will never be forgotten. Joseph Frank Buster Keaton VI was born into the boisterous and chaotic world of vaudeville, a form of entertainment that was as unpredictable as it was popular. His parents, Joe and Myra Keaton, were traveling performers who lived for the stage. Buster joined their act at the tender age of 3, becoming an integral part of their performances almost immediately. Billed as the Three Keatons, they toured the country, performing a rough-and-tumble act that pushed the boundaries of comedy and tested the limits of child endangerment. Their act was a mix of slapstick humor and physical comedy, often involving dangerous stunts. Joe Keaton, a notorious drinker, would often incorporate his young son into his act in ways that would be considered abusive by today's standards. Despite the harsh treatment, Buster's resilience and natural talent shone through. Buster would be thrown around the stage, dropped from great heights, and even used as a human projectile. These stunts were not just for show, they were a testament to Buster's incredible physical endurance and his ability to perform under pressure. He was even hurled into the audience on occasion, a move that would leave modern-day audiences gasping in shock. Yet, Buster always emerged unscathed, a testament to his remarkable agility and toughness. Amazingly, he always emerged unscathed, earning his famous nickname from magician Harry Houdini after surviving one particularly harrowing fall. Houdini, impressed by the young boy's resilience, dubbed him Buster, a name that would stick with him for the rest of his life.
While this upbringing might seem harsh, it instilled in me a remarkable physical resilience and a fearlessness that would serve me well in my later film career. The constant exposure to danger and the need to perform flawlessly under pressure became second nature to me. It also taught me the importance of timing, precision, and comic exaggeration. These were not just skills. They were essential tools that I would carry with me from the vaudeville stage to the silver screen, shaping my unique style of comedy. Lessons learned in the chaotic world of vaudeville became the foundation of my career in silent films. The ability to convey emotion and humor without words was a skill honed through years of performing in front of live audiences.
Life on the road was tough, filled with long journeys and constant performances, but it was also an invaluable apprenticeship for the young Buster. The experience of traveling from town to town, performing in different venues, and adapting to various audiences was a rigorous training ground. He learned to read an audience, to hold their attention, to make them laugh. These were not just skills but instincts that became deeply ingrained in him, allowing him to connect with audiences on a profound level. He honed his comedic timing and developed an uncanny ability to take a fall. These physical comedy skills would become his trademark, setting him apart from other performers of his time. By the time he was a teenager, Buster Keaton was a seasoned performer, ready to take on the world. His early experiences in vaudeville had prepared him for a career that would see him become one of the most iconic figures in the history of cinema. In 1917, at the age of 21, Buster Keaton's life took a dramatic and unexpected turn. He met Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, a popular silent film comedian, at a bustling New York studio. Intrigued by the fascinating world of filmmaking, Keaton accepted a role in Arbuckle's latest comedy, The Butcher Boy. This chance encounter would forever alter the entire course of Keaton's career. He quickly took to the medium of film, finding it to be the perfect outlet for his unique brand of physical comedy and expression. Under Arbuckle's tutelage, Keaton learned the ins and outs of filmmaking, from acting and directing to editing and stunt work.
Keaton's natural comedic talents were evident from the very start. He possessed an uncanny ability to create laughter through movement and expression, his stoic face and acrobatic skills making him a natural in front of the camera. He quickly became an indispensable part of Arbuckle's comedic team, appearing alongside the portly comedian in a string of successful short films.
The partnership with Arbuckle was a formative one for Keaton. He learned the importance of storytelling, pacing, and visual gags. He also developed a deep respect for the technical aspects of filmmaking, often spending hours experimenting with cameras, props, and special effects. These early experiences would lay the foundation for Keaton's later success as a solo artist and filmmaker. In 1920, with Arbuckle's blessing, Buster Keaton set out on his own. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in Keaton's career, one that would see him rise to unprecedented heights in the world of comedy. He formed his own production company, and began directing and starring in a series of 2 reel comedies, which were short films typically lasting around 20 minutes. These films allowed Keaton to experiment with his unique brand of humor and storytelling. Each one a masterpiece of slapstick and visual ingenuity, these comedies showcased Keaton's extraordinary talent for physical comedy and his innovative approach to filmmaking. His ability to choreograph complex sequences and execute them flawlessly was unparalleled. These one-reel wonders, as they were known, cemented Keaton's status as a major comedic force in Hollywood. They were not just popular with audiences, but also garnered critical acclaim, earning Keaton a reputation as a true artist in the realm of comedy. Keaton's early shorts were characterized by their breakneck pacing, inventive gags, and a relentless pursuit of laughter. Each film was a whirlwind of action and comedy, leaving audiences breathless and eager for more. And Keaton's own fearless stunt work was a significant part of their appeal. He performed all his stunts himself, often risking life and limb to achieve the perfect shot. His dedication to his craft was evident in every frame. He had an uncanny ability to take a seemingly simple premise and spin it into comedic gold. His creative process often involved brainstorming and meticulous planning, ensuring that every gag and stunt was executed with precision. Whether he was battling a runaway train in 1 week, 1920, a film that showcased his knack for turning everyday situations into extraordinary adventures, navigating a collapsing house in The Scarecrow, 1920, where his timing and physicality turned a potential disaster into a comedic triumph, or facing off against a legion of cops in Cops, 1922, a film that highlighted his ability to create chaos and humor out of seemingly dire situations.
These films showcased Keaton's unique comedic sensibility. His humor was distinct, relying heavily on visual gags and physical comedy rather than dialogue. Unlike Charlie Chaplin's sentimental tramp or Harold Lloyd's relatable everyman, Keaton's approach was different. Keaton's persona was that of a stoic observer, a man who faced the chaos of the world with unflinching resolve. His deadpan expression became his trademark, earning him the nickname the Great Stone Face. He was a master at maintaining his composure amidst the most chaotic and absurd situations, which only made the comedy more effective. His ability to remain calm and collected while everything around him fell apart was a key element of his humor. His humor was rooted in the absurd, in the unexpected, in the sheer improbability of it all. Keaton's films often featured elaborate setups and payoffs, where the most unlikely events would unfold in the most hilarious ways.
The success of these early shorts brought Keaton critical acclaim and box office success. He was celebrated not just as a comedian but as a visionary filmmaker who pushed the boundaries of what was possible in cinema. He was hailed as a comedic genius, a master of visual storytelling, and a worthy successor to Chaplin and Lloyd. His work was compared to that of his contemporaries, and he was often mentioned in the same breath as the greatest comedians of his time. He had found his voice, his style, and his audience. Keaton's films resonated with people of all ages, and his popularity continued to grow with each new release. The stage was set for Keaton to make the leap to feature-length films. With a solid foundation of successful shorts behind him, he was ready to take on new challenges and further cement his legacy as one of the greatest filmmakers in history.